welcome to the second part of our NatFun Friday freebie celebrating our launch month of the podcast. If you're enjoying NatFun so far, we ask that you please rate, subscribe, download, leave a comment, tell a friend. It will really help us grow the show. And without further ado, please enjoy the conclusion of our 2-episode fun shot, Nightmare in Elm Forest.
Well, welcome back to part 2 of our special fun shot. This is NatFun, the role-playing tabletop game where the dice and a few friends are going to tell a story. Last time, four adventurers, Melanie, Lander, Clark, and Golan, found themselves in a small village, Own, where strange things had been happening. A couple conversations and some weird dreams, they were awoken and found blood in the middle of the town square. Following the scent, they raced into the woods, not really knowing each other, but knowing, hey, we're here to do a job. Upon the pathway, they came across two strange beasts. An elk with bloody red eyes and a wolf with the same features. They fought back and forth, taking blows and giving them, but ultimately they were successful and found their foes transforming before their eyes. Two of the missing villagers, now dead at their feet. With some investigation, they were able to identify these villagers as Ramona and Gordon. James and little Roan still missing. We rejoin our party tonight in the forest, hurt and scared, the darkness thick surrounding them. Well, gang, welcome back. What would you like to do?
Golan's gonna walk over to Melanie, help her up, and tell her to shake it off, and we've got to keep focusing on moving forward, and cast an additional 11 points of healing with his lay hands on her as well.
Thank you kindly.
Shake it off like your name was Taylor Swift.
And as she kind of rubs her shoulders from where the elk kicked her, she's also going to reach back and grab a shield and strap that on. I just got to be honest, I did not enjoy that at all.
I think we all noticed, Clark mentions that we noticed something lurking out there. If we want to pursue it, I can give us a little advantage. I can track it, but no offense there. But we may not all be as stealthy as we could be. So I can aid us in sneaking up, or we can just try to track it.
Well, if I recall, I thought there was a sound deep in the wood.
Yeah, Golan, you're very capable, but I can assist all of us at getting close. But I don't know if we want to try to get close and really get up on this thing, or if we want to just try to just track. It's up to you guys. But it takes a little bit of my limited energies to do that. Or we can just see where the path takes us for now.
I think it clearly knows we're here. The dreams I had and Melanie had, and the fact that we could hear it taken off away from here, I think it's well aware that we're in the area.
Maybe what we'll do is, as we get close, maybe once we know we're close to it, I'll fall back and see if I can get a little bit of a sneakity sneak on it, if everybody's okay with that, once we're a little closer.
While you guys are chit-chatting and planning, Melanie, her eyes glaze over the moment she sees the little dragon on the other dude's shoulder, and she completely ignores you and just clomp, 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 clomp. Is that a little dragon? He's so cute.
I would be careful with him. He can be unpredictable.
Oh, he's a beaut. He's a beaut. What's his name?
His name is Lockheed. When I say that, or when Lander says that, Lockheed kind of stands up with a little puff of his chest and a poof of smoke comes popping out of his nose. He's very proud of himself. He's also grumpy.
Well, there's your problem.
All right. So, Melanie, you regain your 11 hit points, and I think we are good to go. You guys want to head deeper into the forest where kind of you heard that rustling and grunting and noises kind of leaving you?
Yeah. And Clark will take point, and as we get close, if we can kind of at every so often, Clark's going to stop and try to kind of perceive where this thing is, and once we're in range of it, he's going to peel away from the group when we're within a range, if he can figure that out. He may not be able to do that with his perception, but that's what his goal is.
Okay. Perfect. So, Clark, go ahead and give me a nature check.
Okay. That is a 7. Oh, I think I still may have something disadvantage checked. That would be problematic, but that's okay. It's still a 7.
When you roll 2 7s, even if you have disadvantage, it's still a 7.
I wish it weren't. Yes, it is. Fun times. I think Clark was also slightly distracted by the little dragon, even if he won't admit to it.
Well, no worries. So even with that low row, you kind of gauge that there is a trail kind of to follow here. The path is well worn, and footprints on the path are very indistinguishable. You see some human footprints, you see some game footprints, but can't make out anything of what that noise might have been.
Okay. We'll move on ahead and keep your eyes peeled, everybody. And Clark will keep about 15 or 20 feet in front of everybody and try to keep everybody aware of what's happening as we move forward.
Oh, are we going into the woods? Anybody else coming?
I'm going to see what we can find.
I'm certainly right there, well, not right beside Clark. I'm letting Clark get ahead and then following at the suggested distance.
Okay, so in marching order, I have Clark in the front, and then Melanie.
Sounds good.
I think Golan's gonna be up next to Melanie. She seems like she could use some oversight right now.
Some might call it a chaperone.
What is the lighting situation?
This is going to be dim light because you do have the moon.
Okay. I was wondering if Lander should use his invocation for Devil's Sight, which allows him to see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, up to 120 feet. You know what? He's going to go ahead and do that if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
And Clark's got pretty good dark vision.
How long does that last?
It does not say. It just says you can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a distance of 120 feet.
I think you can just cast it at will. based on the description I'm reading as well, it doesn't say it lasts for a certain amount of time. It just basically says, like, hey, I want to be able to see, so you can see.
Nice.
Well, let's be real. If that were the case, wouldn't you just have that on all the time?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, I would.
Daylight might suck a little bit.
So, Lander, you can definitely see a little bit better than everybody else, and as you are making your way down this path, you reach a clearing. Now, Own is a logging village. This is a place where the main export is logging, and they do a lot of it, and you have come here to a clear area. The only thing that you see in front of you is this gnarled, nasty tree. Something that wouldn't be suitable to cut down. And it's pretty ancient looking.
From what I can see of that tree, it almost looks like it's grown in the shape of a skull. Pretty close to it. And I'm going to pass this information along to everyone else. And guys, I also don't, just looking at this thing gives me the heebie-jeebies. I feel like there's something not quite right. But I also have a suspicion that that's where we need to go.
And Lander, as you say this, go ahead and give me a perception check.
That will be of 4. And now, mind you, that's a 2 plus 2 equals 4, not like a natural 4.
Nailed it.
Just want to make sure that's clear.
So with that Common Core math roll there, we don't really get to see anything additional when you're looking at the tree, but definitely kind of confirms that sense of ancient dread. Now that said, Clark, you're in front.
Yeah.
You're about 15 feet ahead of everybody here. Do you want to get closer to the tree? Do you want to wait for everybody to catch up with you?
I think the plan was, I think Clark's gonna try to understand what's going on, but the goal was to swing away from everybody once we came upon something, but being we don't know anything about this yet, I think he wants to understand before he leaves everybody to the proverbial wolves. So he's gonna maybe make an investigation check to understand what's going on here a little bit, or would that be a perception?
So investigation would be something
More.
specific you're looking
Yeah.
for. So if you're looking for traps or maybe something weird about the tree's root system or
Yeah.
branches,
He's looking for
that would be more investigation.
Yeah, he's trying to look, maybe understand if he can see that creature or see something moving around or sense danger in any way, shape, or form beyond just the heebie-jeebies, perhaps.
Okay, and remind me, with your ranger, you get an advantage on certain beasts, correct?
Undead and monstrosities.
Okay. So go ahead and make that investigation roll.
Okay, investigation. That would be a 14.
So with the 14, you are looking really hard at this tree. And is that moss? No, that looks a little too rigid to be moss. A little too fluffy. Definitely see something there in the roots.
Okay. Clark's gonna fall back to the group and inform them of this, saying there's something there, and we need to be aware of it, but I think we probably should not move forward as a mass, just knowing what's happened in the past. And I'd like to proceed with the plan that we've talked about previously, if everybody's okay with that. That I'll peel off and try to get a little bit of a different angle if you're all okay with that.
Melanie nods very seriously, stroking her chin, and kind of looks around to see if anybody else knows this plan he's talking about.
I look over at Golan and just say, "Are you okay with that?"
Golan just nods.
Okay. And
A single nod.
and
Yes, I think we can all agree that is one ugly tree. Same page.
and I point at the moss, and then I stealth away 30 feet to the right.
All right, so stealthing away about 30 feet to the right of the tree. Are you trying to kind of get around it, or are you just kind of trying to keep in line with it?
I'm going to go 30 feet to the right, in line with my group, but a kind of a radius, but keep it in visual. Is that reasonably accurate? I want to kind of... Okay.
Yes.
That would be a 14 again, apparently my number of the day. The number of the day is 14.
You've essentially rolled it 3 times in a row.
I know I have, and...
Double sevens.
Not the best numbers.
So you start creeping about 30 feet to the right of this tree, keeping it in your vision, keeping where you saw that weird moss. And as you kind of walk around, nothing happens.
I think he's going to hold and look back at the group and just hold his position for now.
How far is the group from this tree?
You guys are about 45 feet back.
All right. Golan's going to go ahead and use his divine sense to see if he can detect anything good or evil once again. Mostly concerned about evil, of course.
Yeah, I'm fine if it's an angel.
Is that a roll, or is that just a straight up, is there evil afoot?
That's just the straight up is there evil, but so the presence of a strong evil registers on your sense like a noxious odor, that sort of thing. And I can even potentially determine the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet. That's not behind cover.
You tuck into yourself, digging deep into this divine sense that your paladin training has given you. And the smell that you felt or sensed when you were first at the well in the town center of Own hits you hard. There is definitely something heavy, toxic, evil here.
Do I happen to know if it's celestial, fiend, or undead?
With that kind of noxious odor, it's definitely a fiend. Or fiend-like.
Fiend-like, all right. Golan's gonna turn to Melanie and Lander and say, I can smell that creature here, or sense that creature here. It's up ahead. Be prepared.
And you start to hear this grunting.
Melanie will draw her blade, bushwhacker, and she'll look over at Golan. Do you want me to run over and tell the other one what you just said?
He'll figure it out soon enough.
Where did you say it was? Can Melanie make a perception check to see in the direction of where that kind of grunting was, if she can make out what it is? Because so far people have just told her where something is, but she hasn't tried to really locate it herself.
Yep, go ahead and make a perception check.
Clark did point it at it in general area, but he may have... Yeah.
12.
So, Melanie, you're a young adventurer. One might say this might even be your first adventure that you've been on. And Clark's pointing gave you kind of a general sense, and that 12 is going to give you an even clearer idea of where the noise is coming from. And you see, yep, that's not moss. That is definitely brown fur nestled in the base of this tree root system.
Oh, I see it now. Okay. Is he going to go talk to it? Shoot it? What? You nodded? Is there... I missed the plan.
He's trying to get a jump on it when it goes that way. This could be potentially one of the villagers. I have no way of breaking a curse on this. My method is to kill everything. So if anyone here has a better idea or a better way of stopping this before it goes that route, I'm open to it. But if it goes that way, that's where it's going to go.
So Lander has the ability to communicate telepathically with creatures that are within 30 feet.
So we're going to send the squishy guy up front.
He is going to try to reach out and see if there's any villager presence, I guess, that he can detect with this creature.
Okay.
I guess trying to determine whether or not the next move should just be to blast it with a witch bolt.
Golan's going to stay by his side, knowing how this went previously with being blindsided.
And I'm going to explain that our Lander is going to explain his thought processes here to everyone else prior to doing that. So they're not just left in the dark thinking he's standing there like, frozen.
So, Lander, you're going to take a couple steps closer to the base of this tree. Because right now you're about 45 feet away from it. In order to use your telepathy, if you think that there might be some sort of beast or villager that's there, you'd need to get a little bit closer to it.
Okay.
So you move up a little bit, and what does it look like as you try to reach out telepathically?
I'm picturing... Well, I'm not picturing. Lander's gonna put his head up, or his hand up to his forehead. And like he's... Almost looks like he has a migraine. And I guess close his eyes and reach out with his mind. I don't know that there's any other visual cues necessarily.
And do you say anything mentally as you reach out?
What up, sucker? No, he's going to reach out and say hello to the creature that's... trying to think of the right way to say this. I guess hello to the creature that's near the tree, the creature in front of me. We've encountered beings like you already that had a human trapped in this form. Is there anybody in there that can communicate?
Before you can even finish thinking these thoughts, that migraine is about to intensify as just screaming hits your psyche.
Not good. Lander is going to turn to his compatriots there behind him, Melanie, and Gullen, and say, guys, there is someone in there, but they are not in a good way. They're hurt. And honestly, I'm thinking that it might be better for them to not be experiencing this in whatever way we can make that happen.
Golan's going to concentrate for a minute, looking at this creature. And he's going to channel divinity for abjure enemy, which could potentially keep this creature in place, and we can make a decision about what to do here. So as an action, I can present my holy symbol and speak a prayer of denunciation using channel divinity. Choose one creature within 60 feet that you can see. The creature must make a wisdom saving throw. Unless immune to being frightened, fiends and undead have disadvantage on this throw. On a failed save, the creature is frightened for 1 minute or until it takes any damage.
All right, so Melanie pointed out the moss to you. You look at it and cast your channel divinity, abjure enemy. And what prayer do you say? And more importantly, what symbol are you presenting?
I have a symbol. It's on a necklace around my neck there. It's a leaf from the village I was at. And as far as prayer goes, I'm not exactly sure. It's something that I'd learned from the holy order I'm with, that I'll say is in a language I don't fully understand, but something that I was actually just, taught to speak correctly to get this to work.
Did you get a tattoo in that language that says, like, believe or courage before you left?
That's what he thought it said.
Really, it says dumplings, chopsticks.
Order number 5, please.
It says recycle.
So you channel divinity holding your leaf, and suddenly a head pops up, and you see these bright red, bloody eyes. But the beast does not come closer to you. It failed its wisdom save.
All right, he's going to turn to Lander, Melanie, and announce loudly, so hopefully Clark are going to hear. We've got 1 minute to incapacitate this creature. Any attacks we do are going to wake it back up. What do you want to do? We can try to tie it up, or we can just hit it real hard.
Oh, boy.
Can we get, if it stepped out at all, other than eyes, can we get a bigger description of what it is? Maybe how big it is?
In addition,
Or did it not step out that far?
it didn't step out. But in addition to these bloody red eyes, you also see some pretty cute little ears that are curved, and it's got a long snout with a nice brown nose. This is definitely what someone might consider a cave bear.
Kill it with fire.
Golan's going to head over and attempt to tie this thing up with some rope. Let's just do that. What's the worst that could happen? So
It eats you?
All right.
Oh, we're doing the plan? Okay, I'll walk up with you. Just throw it over its back. We do this back home all the time.
So Golan, you approach it, you get really close, and it starts grunting, and you can tell that this is a fearful, like, oh my god, please don't approach me, grunt. And you go to tie it up. Now, as you are right on top of it, this is a large beast. It probably stands about 6'7". It's towering over you. As you get closer to it, the stench, that noxious, evil stench, is almost overpowering. But let's see if you can tie it up. Go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check.
sleight of hand.
Because I went up with them to help him, can I potentially grant him advantage on that by assisting with the tying up?
Yes. So with the help, you can either Golan take advantage, or you can roll and Melanie could roll. Your choice.
How do you want to do it?
I just said you were throwing the rope over
All
just
right.
to help speed it up. So I'd say I'm not participating at all other than, here you go. Here's another piece.
All right. So sleight of hand with advantage. Oh, double 10. I don't think that's going to be good enough.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So Melanie's kind of guiding your actions. You're throwing that rope over. You get one paw through it. It looks kind of like a slip knot. You go to tighten it down. Seems good enough, I guess.
Yeah, this heavy armor is a little clumsy.
Clark's in the background here. Clang, 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 clang. He heard the words you spoke, and is a little familiar based on his past research. He's thinking about stepping forward, but he's not sure about this situation. And he yells in Infernal at the beast. Says, calm, stay, in Infernal, to see if it reacts.
It grunts, confused.
Melanie looks at Golan and goes, if we're done here, there's another one over there. Did you hear that sound? We can go tie that one up. Can you stop that one for a minute? I love how confused your face was in the chat there, Matt. That was amazing.
Clark, full face palms. You can hear it. You're full smack.
There goes the stealth.
It just took a step.
Yep.
How are we doing on that minute of?
Yeah, I
Frozen
think we're
Bear
getting close now. Clark's got his bow up. He's not sure about this whole situation. Back away, everybody.
Lander is going to send Lockheed over there to him with the euphoric breath.
Ooh.
Euphoria breath, I guess.
Clark or the beast?
The beast. He would exhale a puff of euphoria gas at one creature within 5 feet. The target must succeed on a DC 11 wisdom saving throw, or for 1 minute the target can't take reactions. It must roll a D6 at the start of each of its turns to determine its behavior during the turn. So I guess kind of get him a little loopy, it sounds like.
Nice.
So Lockheed flies forward and takes a deep breath and exhales what appears to be this mystical gas. And the bear shudders. And looks like a calm has overcome it. Now, do I roll that d6 or do you roll that d6 to determine what happens?
The target
Target.
is roll a D6,
So that's going to be a 2 for me.
which means the target takes no action or bonus action. Uses all of its to move in a random direction.
So, ropes around its body, well or not well, it starts to struggle and wiggles, and it's able to get a couple paws loose, and it starts to crawl towards the base of this tree. And as it's crawling, you see that this isn't a solid base. No, this opens into something. And the bear is able to make it about 20 feet with its hindered movement.
Clark yells at Gullen. He's done some research, but he doesn't know enough. Does that lay on hand thing you did cure sickness and things? Is it worth throwing a couple bits of that into this thing to see if it'll make it well? before we just do the inevitable? I don't know enough about it.
Attempt to remove an affliction, but I'm gonna guess this is far beyond what I would consider affliction.
I think we're getting to the inevitable here.
Lander's going to say, I would have to agree, and I don't have anything that could help this creature in this situation. Except fire.
Let's do it.
Golan, as you guys are coming up with this plan, it is no longer frightened of you, but it is still frightened of the tiny dragon.
All right.
Well, it's not really frightened. It's more
Pacified?
high as a kite.
Catnipped.
Catnip.
It's having a bad trip.
Bear nipped.
Fair.
Well, I don't want to get too antsy here because I don't think I'm stealthed anymore at this point. But I think I'm ready to.
It never noticed you, so you're still stealthed.
I've been talking, so I don't know. But I think.
Yelling out across the 30-foot
Yeah,
gap.
I'm gonna be open and honest about that as much as I want to be stealth. But I think Clark's gonna loose. He's gonna say, "Move back if you want to move back." I think it's that time. Clark's ready to loose, but I think that's the GM's call.
Yeah, Golan will take a few steps back, making sure the warlock wizard guy takes a few steps back as well. Let's get ready. He'll raise his shield and keep his hand on his sword.
All right, well, I guess Lander is going to light him up with a witch bolt.
Clark's gonna
I believe that's
loose.
the plan.
Yep, and loose arrows.
All right, so the way we're going to do this, Clark, Lander, you guys are going to be able to get an opportunity to get those shots off. Before we proceed any further, let's have everybody roll initiative.
Wow.
Wow, that was terrible. That was terrible. So Clark has rolled a 9. That is bad for Clark.
Yeah, Lander has rolled an 8.
Golan's rolled a 19.
And Melanie rolled an 11.
Okay, so Clark, go ahead and let's get your shot off, and then Lander will do your witch's bolt.
Okie dokie. Let's see.
You get that large animal attack on this one.
He has to be injured to have it, so until he's injured, I do not. So let's get him injured first, and then we'll get that little guy off. That would be a 12. I don't think that. I think he's wiggling a little too much, but we'll see what the GM says.
A 12 just hits.
12 just
It's a
hits.
big target.
He is a big boy.
Big target.
Big,
Hey.
big bear. Big bear chase. That would be 7 points.
The bears.
7 points of damage to the burr. That is my first shot. And I would take my... Do I get to take my second shot as my action includes 2 shots, GM?
I would say in this instance, we're just going to have you get the one
Okay.
surprise attack.
Fair enough.
And then Lander, let's get your witch's bolt in there.
Lander rolled a 10.
And a 10 is not going to hit.
Damn it, Bobby.
Nice warning shot.
See, guys, know we're coming.
Spaghetti Western.
So 1 arrow, 1 witch's bolt. The bear had made it about 20 feet into the cave underneath the tree here. And now we go to the top of the turn order with Golan. What would you like to do?
Golan. He'll use his movement 30 feet to charge at the bear and take a swing at it. Or 2 swings at it with his longsword.
Okay.
So 1. My first roll is 20, and my second roll is 18.
Both are going to hit. Let's do some damage.
First damage, 13 points of slashing. Second damage, 14 points of slashing.
Okay. 13 heard and 14 is heard. All right, Melanie, you are up.
So this is the plan. I can do this. And Melanie runs right up to the cave bear, and she's going to make 2 slashing attacks with Bushwhacker.
Lander's gonna look over at Gullin and say $5. Actually, this is good.
Hey.
First attack is a 13. Second attack, finally, is a 26 to hit.
Both of those are going to hit, so let's get some damage in there.
Lander's gonna reach over and give Gullin 5 gold pieces.
First hit is 9 points of slashing, 3 points of poison for 12 total. And the second hit is 10 points of slashing, 1 poison for 11 total.
Oh, this poor thing never stood a chance. Melanie, please dispatch the beast.
Melanie comes up. She actually holds her shield wide to just slash in an X across its chest. And she actually doesn't see that it goes down because she is yelling over her shoulder, "Do I get 5 gold too? That's how that works." And then it falls down.
And as you turn your head back around, Melanie, you see this shape starts to compress. And the fur starts to recede. And the bear becomes more human. The eyes fade from red to dark brown. And then all the light goes out of them. And the bear is no more.
Well, the good news is that Lockheed had kind of sedated the bear before all of this happened, so I like to think that it felt no pain.
Can we investigate or do a history check to see if who this human is?
Please don't be a 6-year-old.
Golan, as you approach the bear here, go ahead and do that history check.
Well, history check of 3. A little shaken up, I guess. So, you know, it's dark in this cave. Someone got better eyesight?
Wow, I can see in the dark, so
Clark never saw the pictures, so he doesn't know nothing.
Well, it's either James or Rona, so is it male or female?
Is it a
This is
6-year-old?
a large adult male.
A large adult male.
Lander rolled a 26.
Nat.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. So without having seen the missing persons posters in town, Lander, as you approach the body that is now in front of you, you see the muscles. This person easily could have been a logger. This is someone who's worked very hard every day of their life, trying desperately to put food on the table, make a good living for his wife and possibly children. But he'll never work again.
You know, honestly, I forgot that Lander had not seen those posters, so he's gonna walk up, take a look, and turn around and say, "Yeah, it's a person." And then he'll explain the attributes that you described to everyone.
Well, it appears to be James, so we're 3 for 3. I don't know if Rona's fate will be any different.
And Lander, as you're looking at this body and how it's positioned, your vantage point and your ability to see in the dark, you see that this root cave system goes pretty deep into the tree.
Greetings, this is Golan. I wanted to take a quick moment to say thanks for taking time out of your day to listen to our NatFun adventure. We are a newer podcast and every listener counts. So if you're enjoying the adventure so far, would you mind dropping us a rating review on your favorite podcast listening network? It really does help other people to find the show. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to ridding evil from this world.
So Lander is going to turn around to everyone and say, it looks like this root tree system goes pretty deep. I think that we should go in there and investigate, since that seemed to be where this unfortunate soul was dragging themselves to. Maybe there's something going on down there.
Clark wants to be clear. He says, I'm hearing the rumors here, but if I recall what you're saying, there's one left, and I'm not liking what I'm hearing. Are we talking about a little kid?
Appears the way.
This has not been good, but I'm not leaving a little kid, and I'm really not looking forward to killing a little kid.
Well, hopefully there will be something down in there that would enable us to unbeast the child.
Well, yeah, let's go down that hole, and I'm going down that hole. I'm not watching
No,
it.
let's
go.
If we come across what appears to be a possessed creature, and there happens to be anyone else in that room, maybe let's try to focus on the other individual in the room and see if that helps free this child from its what we assume to be a creature form.
It hasn't been going in my favor thus far, but how about I go down the hole a little bit more ahead of the group, if you're up for that again. See if I can get eyes on it.
Check for traps.
If I may suggest, Lockheed has the ability, ability to go invisible.
Do that, all right.
He could go invisible and go ahead and come back to tell us what it is that he sees, because he also has telepathy.
Let's do that, and then maybe I can get in that space if we know what's down there before everybody and take a position and then cover you guys. Less than dexterous arrival.
I like it.
And Melanie tunes out Clark and just looks at Lockheed. Well, aren't you just a clever little bugger?
And for the first time since there's been a lot of movement, Clark's hood is down, and as he turns, you can see the whole right side of his face is horribly scarred from like animal wounds, and you can actually see one of his eyes is half gone. It's not his first party like this. You can see he's pretty intense about the situation.
While he's sitting on Lander's shoulder, Lockheed's gonna look at him and go,
God. Judgmental little thing, isn't he?
he's got a weak stomach for a dragon.
Clark pulls the hood
No
up.
offense. No offense, Clark.
No worries. It's you don't wear a hood and a mask for no reason. You don't make a lot of friends. But let's send your lie detector over there down the hole.
So Lander is going to, well, they just have kind of a mental connection. So he's going to tell Lockheed telepathically to head down, to go invisible and head down the hole. Nickel. And to
Go into your
report
hole.
back
It's your home.
as to what he could see. Be too good for your home.
All right. Lockheed kind of flutters a little bit off of your shoulder, starts flying into this hole.
Also, Lander's gonna reach over and grab Melanie by the shoulder so that she doesn't follow Lockheed.
She takes a couple steps and is like pulled back by your hand.
Clark's hand was just reaching out as well.
As Lockheed gets closer, that's when you see he does turn invisible before disappearing into this hole. Or you assume he disappears into this hole. He could be going on a little dragon adventure for all you know.
That is possible.
But Lander, maintaining your telepathy with him, you get this kind of play-by-play. Oh, it's very, very dark, and it's a little damp. Oh, yep, it's a little damp. Little dark. Oh, there's a light. Oh, and water, stream, and crying. Little girl cry. The little girl is crying.
Lander is steadily reporting this back, almost like he was seeing it for himself. And he's going to follow that up with, this could be a very good thing. If there's a little girl crying, that might mean that it's not a little girl that we have to de-beastify. And I think we should start heading in that way. Maybe Clark first, since he can go stealthy.
Yeah. Clark's trying to hesitate. He's got very little self-control at this point, but does he see anything else, your little friend, before we go down there, besides the girl? If not, we'll go for it.
Okay. So, marching order, it'll be Lockheed in front, since he's already down there. Clark. Lander, where do you want to be? Do you want to be behind Clark?
Yes.
And then
Melanie's gonna push off Lander's hand and go, well, I know that you like to plan, but there's a kid down there that doesn't deserve to be scared. So either go,
Going.
or I'm walking right
I know
now.
what was down there, but we're going. Clark's
And
Clark's-
she starts walking.
No,
You can either
Clark's
walk in front
going,
of her,
and
or you
he's
can walk
going to do
behind
it
her.
as slick as he can, but he's going down the edge. He's grabbing a root, but he's going to try to do it smooth and slick. But his cloak, as you see him enter the hole, it's like he becomes a piece of the earth, and he's going to slide on down the edge. And his boots and his cloak, and he's going to stealth down, but he's fast. And he's going to go down the hole. He's going to try to do it as clean and cool as he can. 17 stealth on down the hole.
All right, with a 17 stealth, yes, you're able to kind of quickly, quietly make your way down this hole. Melanie hot on your tail, Lander behind, and Golan taking up the rear.
Glad with that description it wasn't a 4.
We just lost all kind of nickels right there. Like
The nickel bank is
couple
full.
of bucks.
I just held back all the jokes. There were so many. It just...
Slick,
That was tough.
smooth.
Nickel.
Were there odors coming up from this hole?
A little bit, yeah. A couple of odors. Not fishy though. Thankfully.
No bacon.
Okay. Was it moist?
It was moist.
There was moist
I'm
used.
just hoping it doesn't smell like poo.
There was a little dragon in that moist hole.
Hey now. A euphoric gas, if you will.
Wow.
You know, he's pretty normal for his size. Some would say average.
Yeah. Average euphoric dragon.
All right, so gang, you guys are able to kind of make your way down this hole, and while you can't see Lockheed, you assume that he's in front of you, and sure enough, on the other side of this stream, you see a small female child crying into her hands. Mama? Dada? I want to go home.
Golan's gonna use his divine sense real quick here, entering this space. He wants to get a feel if there's anything particularly evil in this room within at least 60 feet of him. Can you go ahead and do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you reach out with those senses again. Ugh, the stench. This is worse than the bear. This is worse than anything you've smelled all night.
When Clark hit the ground, first one down, he didn't really know where the girl was, but he also knew that the crowd coming down was going to be loud and they were going to head straight for the girl. And he wanted to give them cover. He was going to go directly left about 20 feet, just to not knowing anything about the space. He was just going to hit the ground and move out of their wake, and then just post up and wait for them to hit the ground and then be there, as hidden as he can be with his skills, and wait to see what happens, just to protect them and hopefully figure out where the girl is and what happens next. So
Melanie had slowed down when she saw Clark trying to be all cool and fancy and sneaky, but continued to press forward. But as soon as she hears that kid crying, all bets are off, and Melanie just runs straight towards the sound. And is she able to see the girl?
As soon as you reach the bottom of this slope, this cavern opens up wide. And yes, you see a stream. You see kind of the branches or the roots above you forming this cave system, and light somehow trickling down from the moon above. And yes,
Real quick, back to the divine sense. Would I have seen, or I can technically locate anything that's evil in the area? So do I know the position of anything, or is it just a general, it's everywhere situation? Sorry, jump back.
So first, Melanie, yes, you can see the girl. And second, Golan, you get a sense that this entire place is evil, but it is centered on the girl.
So is Melanie charging at the girl right now?
Well, I would say the roleplay ability is how quickly are you divine sensing and sensing that all in? Because for Melanie, she's walking with purpose and barely slowed down when she saw Clark try and be all sneaky, and the moment she hears the kid, her pace picks up, and then the moment she sees the kid, she's going to charge straight for them. So where do you think you would fall in with that?
And remember, you're at the back.
Yeah, I'd say no. That's what I was like. How much time do I have to call out to her? So I think she's reaching it in that very climactic sense. You're reaching the girl while I'm saying stop.
Slow motion. No. Yeah, Melanie, as soon as she sees the girl, she's gonna run towards her. She's still gonna have her sword because everyone else is acting all weird and like there's stuff going on, but she doesn't sense anything weird. She's just running to this kid that's scared. Because last thing she said is no kid deserves to be scared like that.
So, Golan, as you call out, wait, Melanie, no. And Melanie, you cross the stream to where this child is crying. And can I have everybody please roll initiative?
Really?
Lander rolled a nat 20.
Good deal. Well, Clark rolled his inevitable 9 for initiative.
Golan rolled a 12.
And Melanie got a whopping 10.
Oh, well, we're all food.
Alrighty, so Melanie, you get close to the girl here. And you reach out your hand. What do you say to her?
My name's Melanie. I'm here to take you back to your mom and dad.
Huh. And you suddenly see this face contort, become monstrous, and it is no longer a little girl. All right, Lander, you are up.
She doesn't match the pictures on the poster at all.
Terrible artist.
And they say there's no ugly babies.
No wonder nobody could remember the parents.
Nobody wanted to. Lockheed has been hovering a short distance away from Lander because he had gone ahead so that he could scope the place out. So Lander is going to look over at Lockheed and say, hit him with the Euphoria breath. And he is going to move to within 5 feet and attempt to hit him with the Euphoria breath.
All right, Lockheed flies forward. Is he still invisible?
That's a good call. Yes, he is.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make that wisdom saving throw.
That's the beat in 11.
And this creature does. But it sees this puff of euphoric gas coming at it, and it hisses. All right, that's Lockheed's turn. Lander, what do you want to do?
Well, Lockheed was gonna kind of back up a little bit and fear. Lander is going to hit this ugly little thing with a witch bolt. Or try to. Rolled a 7. I'm guessing
A 7 is not going to do it.
Right, so that's gonna.
We need a sad trombone sound for this one.
Or one of those? Darn.
So that is gonna end their turn.
Okay. All right. Something just came 5 feet into this creature's radius, and it is going to attack at you, Melanie, with a bite. Does a 17 break your armor class?
It does not.
That's okay. It is going to then turn and look at Lander, and it's going to fire a medicine dart at you.
Gonna heal me?
And Lander does a 20 break your armor class.
A little bit. And by a little bit, I mean by a mile.
That is going to be 4 piercing and 12 poison.
Son of a gun.
Ouch. It is then going to back up a little bit. Melanie, this is going to give you an attack of opportunity.
She'll take it.
Okay.
Swing does a mighty 10 break its armor class.
A 10 does not. It backs up, it raises its dart again, shoots at you, and a 15 is probably not going to do it.
Nope.
And it hisses. All right, Golan, it is your turn.
Go on, I gotta check my distance here since it moved. 30 feet. Ooh, that sneaky guy. Alright. Golan is going to go ahead and start off with Misty Step, which can teleport him within 30 feet of this creature.
Teleportate away.
All right, so I will burn that one level 2 spell slot. And then he's going to go ahead and take 2 swings at this creature that's right in front of him with his longsword. The first is a 17, and the second is a 24.
Both of those are going to hit, so go ahead and roll your damage.
He would also like to apply as a free action here that he can use is Divine Smite, which will burn a first level spell slot as well. I'll do that on the second attack. I just want to see how much purchase this has.
Okay.
So the first damage roll is 9. The second damage roll is 8. And Divine Smite. Oh, I should have clicked that here. Let me just click it again. And that should be a 7 for radiant damage.
All right, and does Divine Smite do any debuffs or add anything to anybody else's roll?
No. The only thing, if it's an undead or fiend, it does an additional 1d8 of damage.
Okay. All right, and that will end your turn. Melanie, to you.
Melanie is a little bit shocked and shook up by what just happened. She thought she was rescuing this little kid, and that was terrifying. How big is this creature? I know that like the face got all misshapen and contorted, and it, kind of was slinking away. Is it my size? Way bigger?
It's about your size. It's a medium humanoid size.
Okay, Melanie is extremely upset. She thought she was helping save this child, and she's really, really, to her core, shook by this. So she's going to look at this being, and she is going to say, "You don't belong here!" And her voice is going to get super deep and change, and you watch almost a shadow rise up behind her, and she's going to cast Hex as her bonus action. But I place a curse on a creature that you can see within range. Until the spell ends, I deal extra damage on that target, and I also choose one ability that they have disadvantage on ability checks with that ability, and I'm going to choose Strength.
Okay. Now, unfortunate for you, this creature does have damage resistances against necrotic. So all of your hex damage will be halved.
She doesn't know.
But she doesn't know that. All right, so that's your bonus action.
Yes, and then she is going to run up on it, and she's going to make 2 swinging attacks with Bushwhacker.
Make it so.
First attack is a 21.
Beautiful, that's going to hit.
Okay, and she is going to use that attack to use a superiority dice to do a tripping attack. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to attempt to knock the target down. You add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, and if the target is large or smaller, it must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, you knock it prone.
Okay, so you get damage, and then I will roll that strength.
So the damage is going to be... It's going to be lots of fun damage. So total of 4 from the superiority die, 8 slashing, 3 poison just from her blade, and then 1 necrotic. So 16 total.
All right.
If I did math right. I think I did math right.
Damage is heard, and it failed its strength save, so it is now knocked prone, correct?
Correct. And she still has a second attack. So she is going to take the second attack, and because it's prone, she has advantage, right?
Correct.
Okay, so she's going to take this attack with advantage. which is good because the first roll was an 8, but with advantage, does a 16 break its armor class?
It sure does.
Okay. And she's going to take this opportunity. No, she'll just go with the damage. I apologize. I have too many fancy things as a fighter. But she is going to cause 6 points of slashing and 2 points of poison damage. And then the hex causes 1 point necrotic damage. For 9 total.
Perfect. That is heard.
And she's super upset and angry and sees this opportunity with the position that this behemoth or beast is in. And she's going to go ahead and action surge and take 2 more attacks.
Make it so.
Beast.
So the first attack, does a 17 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. That is going to be 7 slashing, 3 poison, and 4 necrotic, which you said is rounded down, so that is a total of 12 points of damage.
Okay.
And she's going to be pretty crazy chaotic, but she's going to do that last swing. 21 for the last swing.
You know, it doesn't matter that you missed earlier because you're hitting now.
Seriously. But she does still cause 6 points slashing, 1 point poison, and 4 points of necrotic for a grand total of 9 points of damage after the hex damage is rounded down.
Okay, beautiful. That is heard. After that
that ends her
staggering blow, that ends your turn. Clark, it goes to you.
Okay, we have a prone enemy in the ditch. Clark is going to adjust his position. He'd like to move about here to get a little better clear shot and keep everybody out of the range of his arrows. So he'd like to move northwest about 10 feet, if that is acceptable, GM, to that position. Yeah, that would be great. He is going to have to take his attacks at disadvantage because our little friend is prone and he is a ranged weapon guy. He is going to bonus action Hunter's Mark the new friend, as much as he's not really loving the fact that this was a kid. But we're gonna now take our shots at it. And you said this was a medium-sized beast, so that is understood. So no Colossus Slayer. Boo. All right, first shot away. That would be a 13 for the first shot.
13 will not hit.
All right, look, just skims over the top, and he'll take his second shot, knowing that that was problematic. That would be a 24. And he'll take
24 will do it.
24 will do it. He'll take his shot. That would be 6 points of damage plus Hunter Mark, which would be another whole lot of ones. So 7 points of damage from Clark. And that is the end of Clark's epic turn.
All right, Lander, you're up.
So taking a cue from Clark, he's going to move to an angle where he's not going to accidentally scorch anyone, hopefully, and fire off another witch bolt, which is also going to miss with a 6. And that is going to end his turn.
This time you're setting off fireworks in celebration.
I'm here for moral support, guys. I'm going to sit this one out, but I will add some pizzazz to the adventure.
All right, so Lander, you fire off that witch bolt. It misses, but now it's the beast's turn. It is going to use half of its movement to stand up. And then it is going to use one of its features to transform into a large dire wolf.
What the hell?
And now it is going to attack at this thing that hit it so aggressively with a bite. And Melanie, does a 20 break your armor class?
A 20 does break my armor class.
And potentially a rib.
It might. That is going to be 13 points of piercing damage.
Ouch. Okay. And she needs to make a Constitution saving throw, correct?
She does.
She may get advantage. She's within, let's see, my aura protection saving throw +4 for me and a friendly creature within 10 feet.
Well, I had the advantage button still clicked and still didn't do great. It was a 10.
+4.
Oh, +4, so 14. And the concentration checks are what? It's 10 or
10 or higher.
half the damage taken, whichever is greater. So, so she made it then.
Yep.
So we're good. We're good.
Because what are you concentrating on?
Hex.
Yep. All right, so it bites at you, and then it's going to take its second bite attack at Golan here. And that is going to be a 21.
That hits.
All right, Golan, that is going to be 11 points of piercing damage for you.
All right, 11 deducted and a Constitution saving throw. Rolls a 25. Go ahead and add my 4. It's a 29.
You didn't need it. That's good. And then it is going to charge at Lander down here. That's going to give you guys both an opportunity attack.
All right. Golem will take.
Melanie will take
Yeah.
that.
Who wants to go first?
Go for it.
All right. Golem will go ahead with his one-handed longsword attack. Rolls a 23. Do I get 2 attacks or just one on this?
Just one on an opportunity. So
Okay.
a 23 is going to hit.
And that'll be 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay, and Melanie?
She rolls a 20 for her attack roll.
That also hits.
Question for you. Can I still use a superiority die on an opportunity attack? Because the wording is when you hit a creature with a weapon attack.
Yes.
Okay, then I would like to use one more superiority die to try that tripping attack again, as I see it charge off. Again, I'm super pissed. I want to bring this thing down. So they need to make a strength saving throw against my save, which is a DC of 14. But because the hex is still up, they have disadvantage.
All right, and what do they need to beat?
14.
They got it. It was a 14 exactly on the disadvantage. A 14 and a 16.
But they do still take 13 points plus 2 points of poison, so 15 points of damage just from the blade, and then 5 from hex.
All right.
Does it get rounded down though, the 5 from hex?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That is heard. And now we go to Golan, your turn.
Okay. Golan's gonna go chasing after that wolf. However far away it is there, and again take 2 slashes at it with his one-handed longsword. Trying to drop this thing before it reaches anyone else. So he rolls a 19 and a 21.
Both of those are going to hit, so go ahead and do some damage.
The first one's 9 slashing, the second one's 13 of slashing, so 22.
All right. So with that first hit, you see that the wolf form changes back to this monstrosity. And then you do your 13 points of damage with that second hit. and this thing turns at you and it snarls. This is frustrating.
Not too worried about it. That can go ahead and actually, if I've got a bonus action here, I'll hold off for that right now. That'll end my turn.
All right, Melanie, you're up.
How's this thing looking at this point?
Ferocious and evil and very terrifying.
Okay. Well, Melanie only kind of knows how to do one thing, so she's going to run up in its face and she's going to try and hit it.
Okay, make it so.
First swing is a 19.
That's going to do it. Go ahead and hit, or do your damage.
And she's going to spend her last superiority dice on this one to try and do that tripping attack again to get it to fall down. So strength save, disadvantage against the DC 14.
It fails. That was a 12 and a 23.
So the first attack, the damage is going to be 10 damage plus 2 poison for 12 with the blade, and then 4 with Hex. So rounded down for a total of 14. And you said it failed its save?
It did, so it's knocked prone again.
Alrighty, she's going to swing again with advantage this time. Which is good, because the first one was a 12, but 26 should hit.
It does.
Not as good on the damage. 9 slashing, 1 poison for 10 points of damage from her blade, and 2 necrotic from the Hex. And then she's going to use her bonus action to cast Second Wind and kind of, in the moment, gain a little bit back on herself. Health-wise, she gets 8 points of healing back to herself. And that ends her turn.
Okay. Clark?
All right. Clark's going to play a game he doesn't like, and that's getting way too close. He's going to move up 10 feet to the beast because it's down, and he doesn't want to waste arrows again. And he is going to draw his short sword and wackadoo. And for the first time, you've seen Clark pull a sword, and it glows. And he is going to slash with advantage at this prone monster. It says you've taken too much today. And he's going to swing away with his 2 attacks. That would be... that would only be a 16 on the first attack. Does that connect?
It does.
Okay. Make sure everything is correctly connected. That is 8 points of piercing and 3 points of radiant damage as the sword ignites when it connects with radiant. And he flips around and stabs down again, trying to connect with this thing, trying to end evil in this day. That is a 21.
A 21 will hit.
And that is 8 points of piercing and 4 points of radiant. And he has another 25 feet of movement, and he is going to take the opportunity attack and move back to the west, back close to where he was before. He knows it's risky, but he does not want to be here when this thing gets back up.
All right, so you go to move away. It's going to take that opportunity attack and does a 16 break your armor class.
If it meets, it beats. This is going to be
Is it with disadvantage because it's on the ground?
No.
That was with disadvantage.
Okay. Yep.
I'm
Fun
just
time. Ouch.
It was a 16 and a 26, so.
Well, take the 26.
And for you, Clark, that's going to be 10 piercing damage.
Ow! Yep. Okay. Thank you very much. And Clark is... Oh! I forgot my Hunter's Mark damage. I apologize. Let me just... Sorry about that. 10 more points of damage.
All
Revenge
right.
for the 10 it just did to you, huh?
Turnabout.
Lander, you and Lockheed are up.
Well, Lockheed is mad.
Oh, I do to make a Constitution saving throw. I'll do that. You guys keep going. Let me check that. See if my Hunter's Mark came down.
If it did, I'm taking those 10 points back.
I would have gotten the damage before.
I'm just kidding.
But my Hunter's Mark is gone.
Okay.
Lockheed is a lot of things. He's small, he's purple, he's grumpy, he's nippy, and he's very defensive about people messing with me. And so, or with Lander. And so when he saw this thing charging at Lander, now he's pissed. So he is going to zoom in a little bit and do the only attack he has, which is, well, the only one that would really have any effect, which is try to hit him with the Euphoria Breath again.
Okay. So that's going to be a Wisdom saving throw from me.
DC 11.
Come on, that one.
That is going to be a 14.
Alright, and he can't really get out of range because he has expended all of his movement. But in the meantime, Lander is going to invoke Entropic Ward, which means that it says magically ward yourself against attack and to turn an enemy's failed strike into good luck for yourself. When a creature makes an attack against you, you can use a reaction to impose disadvantage on that roll. If the attack misses you, your next attack roll against the creature has advantage if you make it before the end of your next turn. Okay.
All right, so that one's going to be a little funky, and I hate to get rules on you, but it was a reaction for you to use that. So you would have had to have called that out when he attacked you.
Right, the first time. So instead of doing that, he's going to cast Mage Armor on himself, which he can do at will without expending a spell slot or material components.
Shields up.
All right, so you've beefed up. You can still attack him.
Oh, yeah. And considering that at least two of us are standing in the same pool of water that he's in, I'm not going to hit, or Lander is not going to hit him with a lightning bolt. Gonna hit him with the
Good call.
Eldritch Blast. Miss again with a 12.
Yeah, but 12 ain't gonna do it.
That's gonna end Lander's turn.
All right.
Good knowing you guys.
So this thing is gonna come right next to you, Lander.
Let's get it out.
It's going to stay within your range, so no attack of opportunity for you. It is also going to use half of its movement to stand up.
Did it move away from Melanie for attack of opportunity there?
It did.
Good call, sir.
She does not have advantage on the strike, but the first strike was a 24 to hit.
24 is going to hit.
I was also saying, because Golan was standing next to it when he made his attacks too. I know the tokens were a little off there.
Yeah, so technically you can stand in the same space as a friendly creature. So if you guys were both swinging at it there, then yes, you would also get an attack of opportunity. All right, so Melanie's 24 hits, do your damage, and then Golan will do yours.
Okay, so Melanie's hit is 7 slashing and 4 poison for 11 points of damage from the blade, and then 6 points of necrotic damage from Hex, rounded down to 3. 14 total points from Melanie.
All right, Heard.
As she yells, "You get back here!"
And then Golan will use his reaction, and he's going to roll a 10, so I guess he's a little too arm in arm next to Melanie over there and misses.
Yep, he didn't want to hit his friend, his new friend. All right, so it's able to, it takes that damage from you, Melanie. It steps away just slightly, and then it is going to hit all 3 of you with a poison spray.
Nice.
So this attack, it's a ranged attack, and it rolled a 17, so that's going to, I think, get Lander even with your armor.
Yep.
17 does not hit Melanie's AC. She throws her shield up.
Same with Golan. He sees it coming.
Okay. All right, sorry, Lander. This is for
Well,
you.
let me ask you here. You said it's a reaction. I guess it's entropic ward is out of the question.
To half it?
To ward it off at all, I mean, my God.
Go ahead and pop the description into chat. All right, when a creature makes an attack roll against you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on that roll. If the attack misses you, your next attack roll against the creature has advantage if you make it before the end of your turn. So that's 17. I actually get to roll again and see if I do worse. Lander, it's your lucky day. That was a 2.
Hot damn.
Oh,
Nice. So he puffs the smoke at all 3 of you guys, misses. You're able to hold your breath, bring up your shields, impose a magical barrier, inhaling that noxious fume. And Lander, because he missed, you now have advantage on the next roll you make against it.
I like it.
All right, so it used half its movement to stand up. It used its first attack to do that poison spray. It's going to use its second attack to bite at you, though, Lander. And that is going to be a 12 to hit.
Yep.
Okay.
mage armor up?
Well, the thing,
Oh, well, with mage armor, it would be a 14, right?
it doesn't say on here.
So when we looked at it, mage armor gives you an 11 plus whatever your dex is. So for you, it would be a 14. And so a 12 isn't going to do it. You were able to
Excellent.
successfully block both of its attacks. All right, that's going to end its turn. Golan, you're up.
Golan's gonna charge straight back at this thing. And he's gonna take his first bonus action. Well, he's gonna take his bonus action to add Branding Smite. Throw that into chat if you'd like. But on my next hit, I will do an extra 2d6 radiant damage to the target.
Okay, make it so.
Alright, so I'll do my first attack with my longsword. And I would actually, I rolled an 18, also add Divine Smite to this at the same time. If that's allowable, I believe I can stack all this.
Make it so.
All right, so we'll start off with the damage on this one. Do you want me to start off with damage first on this and keep this all one together, or do the second attack?
Go ahead and keep it all together and then do your second attack.
All right, so we'll do the attack, which will give me 13 radiant damage, 9 slashing, and then I need to add the branding smite to that, level 2, which will be another 10
Ouch.
damage.
And you know what, Golan? You don't need that second attack. Can you please dispatch the beast?
All right. I thought we were just going to keep hitting this pinata all night. All right, so, yeah. I mean, Golan is, thinking back to him being a child and his experience. And he just puts every bit of faith into that last swing and drives that radiant light straight through this evil creature to end its life.
As you bring that sword down, ending this foul creature, finally, the smell in the cave starts to dissipate. The evil is no more. You remove your sword, standing over this lifeless body, and a calmness seeps in from all around you. Finally, you're able to take in the features. Disgusting mouth, long fingers, longer fingernails, a mouth that can unhinge. The skin covering its body is a grotesque purple. You've never seen a beast like this before, especially not one that can change its shape at will. Especially not one that can mimic that of a young girl.
Melanie looks down at it, expecting it to shrink and change to human form. Does that immediately happen?
It does not.
Melanie, still with this shadow hovering over her and her eyes kind of just looking enraged, she's going to shoulder right past Golan, even just hitting him with her shoulder, and just grabs onto the corpse of this thing and just starts smashing it on the ground over and over and yelling, "Where's the kid? Where is it?" And you see the shadow get bigger and then start to fade, and she just keeps smashing it and starting to cry.
I think Golan's going to put his hand on his shoulder and tell her to get a hold of herself. We still can go look for her in the rest of the cave.
Lander's just kind of standing there in shock at a number of things, including the fact that he's missed this thing so many times. Lockheed is going to float over, kind of look down from above, give a little grunt, and poop on it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think as emotional as Melanie is, Clark's on the same page. He's gonna start investigating. He's looking for the kid, looking for any sign of the kid back of the cave, any niches or areas, any noises, anything he can do.
All right, so Clark, you're investigating. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
An 11.
As you look around the cave, you see a myriad of different bones. Some gnawed on, some with scraps of rotten meat hanging off of them. Cloaks, clothing, fur. Every sense of creature has been consumed down here.
Ah, boy.
In the image here, we have an opening in the back of the cave. Is that just backdrop, or is that actually an opening that we can go down another hallway or corridor?
That would be another opening, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Clark's gonna go
Golan's going to just say,
with him.
next room, let's go.
Yeah, go.
Agreed.
Melanie, you're distraught. Are you going to go with them?
Yeah, Melanie's gonna stand up and
come on,
follow. Wiping tears from her eyes. But right behind Golan. Like literally almost stepping on his heels because she's so anxious to potentially find someone because he sounds confident.
All right. The four of you start making your way down this pathway. Clark, you're keeping a lookout. And as you make your way down, you don't hear anything. You don't sense anything. It's silent. And you continue on, the sounds of your footfall, your breathing, the only noises around you, until suddenly you hear the soft breathing of another creature.
I guess Golan will call out, Rona, is that you?
And you hear whimpering.
I'll head towards the sounds.
You get closer, and you're not sure what you're perceiving. The shape is small. The shape is young. It looks like a girl, like a young girl. But there's something off about her. Do you want to get closer?
Go ahead and lead with my divine sense once again. Let's see if I can determine if there's any sort of evil aura about this creature.
With your divine sense, you don't get that same grotesque smell from earlier. Nothing like the beasts you have faced before.
And as you pause to do your divine sense, Melanie, again, really upset, sees you just stop, and she thinks that this has got to be the kid. She puts her hand on your shoulder and like just pushes you behind her and leans down. Good day. My name is Melanie. I'm here to take you back to your mom and dad. Will you come with me? And she holds her hand out, just like she did when she first came down and saw a kid, and is really hoping it doesn't turn out the same way.
And Melanie, as you reach your hand down, the girl turns and faces you. And you see something that's hard to believe. The girl's face is just barely starting to transform. Her nose is longer, her eyes a faint red, but otherwise mostly human. She tries to say, and reaches towards your hand.
Melanie grabs her hand and starts to pull her towards her and holds her arms out to just give her a big bear hug and pick her up and turn back towards the group. Let's go get your mom and dad.
Clark looks at Golan. Do it. Do something. Maybe just a little bit will put her back.
Can I investigate or I guess do a medicine check? Let's start off with a medicine check to see if she needs medical attention.
Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine check for me.
All right, I'll roll that, and it's a 19.
This girl appears to be completely unharmed. She doesn't have any physical wounds, doesn't have any cuts, scrapes, bruising, anything like that. Looking at her face, you do see that her nose appears to be slightly elongated. Her eyes are that reddish color. But wounds? Nope. She's not hurt.
All right, Golan will turn around and say, she's fine, she's uninjured. But it appears she's just coming off of whatever that curse was that creature must have put on her. There's nothing more I can do for her.
Because Melanie has her in her arms, she's gonna hear that and nod. And still holding the little girl, she's gonna kind of crouch down on one knee and set her on her knee, and then she's gonna look deep into her eyes, and she's gonna use Awakened Mind. Not sure if it's gonna do anything or not, but because she has one level of Warlock, she is able to touch the minds of other creatures, so she can communicate telepathically with any creature you can see within 30 feet. You don't need to share a language with the creature for it to understand your telepathic utterances, but the creature must be able to understand at least one language. She seemed like she was responding to my words, just couldn't speak herself, and I'm hoping that I can telepathically communicate to her to calm her down, to explain what happened, since we weren't able to communicate with Common.
Speaking mind to mind, she gives you this kind of play-by-play, and you see these snippets, her playing in her room, the light outside her window fading. There's not much light in the village of Own, but she enjoys it when there is. And then it flashes forward. It's late at night, a crash outside her window. She sits up in bed, looks out to it, and then flashes in quick succession through the forest, through the base of the tree, past the roots, past the stream to where you find her now, in the monstrosity standing over her, breathing into her face, chanting words. She feels the pain in her throat, the pain in her neck, and the words that reach you in your mind. I want to go home, please. Mama, Dada, please. I just want to go home.
As Melanie sees those images, she, more calmly than you have ever seen her be, she's always been like goofy and cheeky, she just calmly explains all the images she's seeing as she's getting these telepathic flashes from the girl. And then when the girl says she wants to go home, again, telepathically, she communicates back to her. We're here to take you home to your mom and dad. The scary thing's gone. But I need you to hug me tight and close your eyes until we're all the way outside. Can you do that for me, Roan? My friends all came here just to find you.
And she looks around at your friends, the blood dripping off of their swords. She looks visibly shaken, but she looks back at you and your kindness, and she nods, and she closes her eyes tight, and she wraps her little arms around your neck.
Melanie stands up and tells the group, let's get outside. She doesn't need to see any of these creatures, and starts walking.
On the way out, Golan's gonna strike a few torches and burn the corpse of this creature. Make sure that nothing tries to bring it back to life.
As you exit the cave, you see the light, while still dark in this forest, is starting to illuminate. The sun is rising somewhere beyond the mountains. It's morning. You approach the body where the bear once was. Do you stop and bring him with you?
I would. Can you help me? Clark would want to bring the bodies back to the village. They're people now.
Golan will assist.
Clark and Golan, between them, make a makeshift sling, the body between them. On the path, you approach the female, the other male,
sledge them back.
carrying them along with you. And slowly but surely, as the sun continues to rise, you make your way back to the city, or the village of Own.
When we load the last corpse onto the sled that you've crafted, Melanie looks at Clark and asks if he can take his cloak off so that she can open her eyes.
He'll pull his bedroll and cover the bodies. He won't take his cloak off. He's afraid it'll scare her more.
And then Melanie will tell the little girl, "You can open your eyes now. The scary things are gone. We're almost home."
You finish the walk, mostly in silence, your makeshift sled dragging behind you, reaching the village center of Own, nestled against the river Enil. The town is slowly starting to wake up. But you've done it. You've successfully brought Roan back. As you stop in the square, you hear a mother's scream. "My baby! My baby! You brought her back! You brought her! Oh!" And the mother, Sheila, gets her first look at her daughter. Sees the elongated nose, the slightly red eyes. She was rushing to you, and now she takes a half step back.
We got there just in time. Could have been far worse.
Melanie looks at the girl and says, "Let's go give your mom a big hug." And still holding the girl, she walks up to Sheila, and as soon as she gets to her, she wraps her arm around her and just brings them all in for a bear hug, and then leans into Sheila. She's scared, and she just wants her mom and dad. Time can heal so many things. Don't make a mistake in this moment. And then releases her strong grip on the mom and tries to kind of slowly hand the girl over in the mom's embrace.
And Sheila, rigid in your arms, hears your words, tentatively takes the weight of her daughter, closing her eyes as she does so, puts her hand on the back of the girl's head, and brings her in for a hug. And you can see the fear and the tears in her eyes. Will she get better?
Sorry, I just hit things. So
Clark looks at
you may want to talk to someone
Clark
else.
looks at Golan.
But
Lander's gonna lean in and say to Sheila, even though he's not entirely sure himself, he's gonna say with confidence, "Yes, she'll get better. Just give her some time, give her some love, and she'll be fine."
Lander, let's get a persuasion roll on that, please.
That'd be the one roll he hits tonight.
Clark is standing behind him with his hand on his hilt of his sword.
Oh, nice.
How's a
Dirty 20.
Should get the first one now.
That's a dirty 20.
That's a dirty 20.
So, all right. She looks at you. She looks between all of you. And she nods. She believes.
She better.
And she looks at sweet Roan. "Okay, baby. Mama's gonna take you home now. Oh, your father's been so worried sick." And she starts to walk away. And with that, we are going to go ahead and end our Halloween special. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. You have successfully dispatched the beast that has been plaguing the village of Roan. And, I mean, mission accomplished. Good job. Claps all around.
Nicely done.
I was so afraid that the kid was going to be the thing, but I also really wanted the kid to be the thing.
Yeah.
I like how that worked out.
Yeah. That was interesting. Good job.
That was really fun.
Thank you. And good job to you guys, too. That was a lot of homebrew monsters that we fought. But it was definitely a fun one to create. Happy holidays, guys. We had a lot of fun with that one. We hope you enjoyed our holiday special fun shot, where we swapped things around and took you in a darker direction. Things can't always have a happy ending. Not like real life. Melanie, Clark, Golan, and Lander have rescued little Roan and brought back the bodies of Ramona, James, and Gordon. They dispatched the Skinwalker and cleansed the horror of Elm Forest. For now. Did you like what you heard? We're having a lot of NatFun over here and want you to be a part of it. Find us on all major social media platforms under NatFun Podcast and wherever you listen. We're also on Patreon. Be one of our first subscribers and help us make our next adventure. You know what to do. Click, like, subscribe, comment. Can't wait to hear from you.